I want to help you reframe how you're thinking. Because I said that there are similarity traits, right, as far as passing dominant. But my thing is that does such a disservice to LeBron James by us putting their names together. Because you said something so illuminating to me. We're talking about one of the best, and you're leading with a headline stating that he's not in shape. Listen to that for 1 second. He's not in shape. So what that's saying is, for a guy like LeBron James, who came in from high school, who had this undesirable, this mindset that he was relentless with his shape and his conditioning, like completed with this skill set, that's my bigger point, Stephen A., is that I can't put Luka in that same conversation because I don't see that mental commitment. And I understand that where he's maturing towards, right? But he can't be there yet if he's not that commitment that he hasn't had yet.
But what I'm saying to you is nobody is saying it like that. What they're saying is there's a similarity in style. If I'm watching a boxer and one's in shape and the one's not in shape, but your style is similar to that fighter, you're not saying he's that fighter, that he's on that level. You're saying that there's a style of play that this dude exhibits, and that's what happens. And when you look at Luka, because he's ball dominant and he's exploiting mismatches and he's dictating pace, and he does it so skillfully in most instances, you look at him and you say, okay, who's the one person that does that even better? That's LeBron James. And that's the only reason.
So
but nobody's comparing the two.
Defensive player of the year, a guy who has a relentless heart on the deep. It's just.
It's just a style.
I hear the styles,
It's
but
confusing it.
I know because you're talking about nuances.
Jay,
but I'm saying,
do you agree that he's not in shape, that there's another level he can go to?
I've been saying that.
We all know that.
I've been saying that.
We all know
about
that.
him since the beginning.
And he, believe it or not, he's held the Dallas, as great as Luka is, he's held himself and the Dallas Mavericks back from being all he can be and being all they can be, because as great as he is, he leaves something on the floor because he's never fully in shape.
But see, you can have styles that look the same, but the complete packages are completely different. You have one that is the complete package. You have the other that shows traits to potentially be that.
It's a discussion if somebody said, it's an argument rather, if somebody said Luka's comparable to LeBron James, they're on the same level.
People do say that.
I haven't heard that.
People say that.
I haven't heard that.
Not saying on the same level, but people say they're comparable.
They'll say their styles are similar. And Luka's a bad brother. He can ball. This is not
I agree with you on that.
This is not a scrub.
There's levels to it.
But what happens is that when you inch towards greatness the way that he has, ultimately, what's missing is going to become more flagrant because what's the excuse for missing it?
Understood.
But I just want to say, in terms of he's held the Mavs back, he's also, I get your point. No, he's talking about the being in shape, the defensive side, but he's also uplifted the franchise. Yes. Both things can be true.
But also,
I just don't want people taking that out of context.
I think this is important that we actually clarify this. We are talking about a different level. We're talking about this level up here that is that small, rarefied
you mean
air.
LeBron?
The difference between like a guy like Luka who has elevated his team, but like we're talking about Luka. Some people are projecting he has a chance to be one of the greatest to ever do that. So to be the greatest to ever do that, there are different levels to it.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.